Blood vessels attached to heart and functioning of heart. First, so many blood vessels are attached to heart. Some blood vessels brings blood from body parts to heart, while some takes blood away from the heart to body parts. Let us see what they were. Actually, we have three types of blood vessels in our body: arteries, veins, and blood capillaries. Arteries always carries oxygenated blood from heart to body parts, while veins always carries deoxygenated blood from body parts to heart. There are some exemptions also. Pulmonary artery, actually it is an artery but carries deoxygenated blood from heart to lungs, while pulmonary vein, actually it is a vein but carries oxygenated blood from lungs to heart. Blood capillaries are very tiny and very thin blood vessels which connect arteries and veins. Okay, let us see which blood vessels are attached to heart. First, this one, superior vena cava. So many veins are present in our body. These veins unite and produces a large blood vessel called as vena cava. So this is called as superior vena cava. It collects deoxygenated blood from head, neck and shoulders and opens into right atrium of our heart. Collects deoxygenated blood from superior parts of our body, that means head, neck and shoulders, and opens into right atrium. This is inferior vena cava or post caval vein also. Post caval vein, and this is pre-caval vein. This is inferior vena cava which collects a deoxygenated blood from lower parts of our body like hands and legs and opens into right atrium. So both superior and inferior vena cava collects deoxygenated blood from different body parts and opens into right atrium. From right atrium, when the tricuspid valve opens, this deoxygenated blood enters into right ventricle. Okay, next from here the blood enters into a blood vessel called as pulmonary aorta. This is pulmonary aorta or pulmonary artery. It has a valve called as pulmonary valve. When this valve opens, the deoxygenated blood from right ventricle enters into pulmonary aorta. So this pulmonary aorta divides into two branches and opens into two lungs of our body. So the deoxygenated blood from heart is taken to lungs through pulmonary aorta. So in lungs, oxygenation of blood takes place. That means carbon dioxide is left over here and oxygen enters into blood, and this oxygenated blood again returns to heart with the help of two types of blood vessels. They are pulmonary veins. Actually, pulmonary veins, they are divided into branches. So pulmonary veins arises from lungs, takes oxygenated blood from lungs and opens into left atrium of our heart. Left atrium. So pulmonary veins from this lung and this lung, both of them opens into left atrium, brings oxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood from left atrium, when this bicuspid valve opens, enters into left ventricle. From left ventricle, the blood enters into a biggest blood vessel present in our body called as a systemic aorta. Systemic aorta. It has some walls called as aortic walls or systemic walls. So when these walls opens, the oxygenated blood enters into the biggest blood vessel present in our body called as systemic aorta. This systemic aorta will distribute this oxygenated blood to different parts of our body. So these are the blood vessels attached to our heart. Still some more are there. Superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, pulmonary artery, pulmonary veins and systemic aorta. Okay, 5 blood vessels. Next, we have two types of blood vessels in the walls of heart. Coronary artery and coronary vein. Coronary artery collects oxygenated blood from heart and supplies to the wall of the heart. Actually, the walls of heart also needs energy. That means they also need oxygenated blood. So coronary artery takes this oxygenated blood from systemic aorta and distributes it to the walls of the heart. And coronary vein collects deoxygenated blood from the walls of heart and gives it to right atrium. Okay, total we have 7 type of blood vessels here. And already we have learnt about arteries and veins and blood capillaries. So total 10 types of blood vessels we have learnt in this video. Did you understand? Superior and inferior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from body parts and opens into right atrium. When tricuspid valve opens, enters into right ventricle. When this pulmonary valve opens, the deoxygenated blood enters into pulmonary aorta and reaches lungs for oxygenation. Again, the oxygenated blood comes to heart from lungs through pulmonary veins, that to left atrium. From left atrium, the oxygenated blood enters into left ventricle. From there, when the systemic valves opens, it enters into systemic aorta and it is distributed to different parts of our body. In addition to these 5 types of blood vessels, we have coronary artery and coronary vein, which also collects deoxygenated blood from the walls of heart and supplies oxygenated blood also to the walls of heart. That is about blood vessels attached to our heart. At the same time, we have learnt about functioning of heart also here, how the blood is passing through these chambers and through these walls also we have learnt in this video. Okay, I hope you understand. If you have any doubts, you can ask me. If you want detailed explanation of this particular topic, already I had posted some videos also about this topic in detail in my video in my channel. I'm going to give you links in comment section. Please, if you want, go through them. Thank you so much for watching. Jai Hind.